Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Pelican Bay K9's giving it to you the way I always do. Fair, unbiased, raw, and uncut, like I always tell everybody. Welcome back, welcome back. Y'all hit that like button before you get up out of here. Go ahead and hit it right now so you won't forget. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, you know what I always tell you. We about to get into some dog talk. We got a lot of dog talk today. And we got some breaking news, man. We got some breaking news, an update. We got a couple updates on some news that I gave y'all brothers and sisters a few weeks ago. I'll give y'all updates on that, and we're going to talk about some things, some topics in the dog community. Hope everybody having a great day, had a great day, having a great evening. Gonna have a great evening or having a great morning. Just depends on what part of the world you're in. Big shout out to all the dog lovers from across the world. Like I always say, it's your boy PBK9s giving it to you the way I always do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna start this thing off, today talking about some of the stuff that we was talking about on the last video when we was speaking about the Cottonham dogs. We were speaking about the Cottonham dogs and why nobody really focuses on them dogs right now today in modern day time, or nobody really has a pure Cottonham dog. And when you go back and look in these pedigrees of these dogs, like Red Man, like Cottonham's Bear, when you look at these dogs go real far back, and if you don't got nobody who actually took 2 Cottonham dogs or 3 or 4 and just ran their yard with that, didn't breed back out, it's going to be hard to have it if you don't have it from the original Cottonham brothers, and these dogs were so far back, a lot of y'all little younger brothers and maybe some of you older brothers, Red Man was back there when Red Boy was living. Cottonham's Red Man, the stuff that Mr. Garner has the sperm off of, that was back there when Red Boy was living. Cottonham's Bear, heard some stories about that dog. Not ending well for him at the end of the day. I'm just gonna say it like that. It didn't end well for Cottonham's Bear. But when it comes to the Cottonham blood, man, I think there's some great dogs. I think the best dog, and this is my opinion, looking from the outside of the glass, like I always tell y'all, I'm not looking from the inside, I'm looking from the outside, and I'm just speaking this. My opinion, one of the best Cottonham dogs to leave from them boys, or that them boys had, was Cottonham Sheba. And that's just my opinion. I feel like she was one of the reasons for a lot of the great dogs being produced today. And it's a wonder why brothers didn't focus in on like triple and quadruple bred Cottonham Sheba dogs. Dogs with Sheba all through the pedigree. When you was focusing on the male, you should have been focusing on the females. Now that we look back on it, because we could say Cottonham Sheba bred with Jeep, bred with Hummer, bred with Mayday, bred with Big John, Cottonham Sheba bred with Eli, Cottonham Sheba bred with any of these dogs would have made some phenomenal dogs. But when you take some of them other Cottonham bred dogs, we really can't say that. So that's why I say Sheba, I think, is one of the best ones, coming off that line. And I think, that line is just a line that has fell victim to not enough people having the dogs, raids happening. The brothers who actually own the dogs got out of the dogs many years back, which left the public to try to keep the Cottonham stuff rolling. And as you can see, the public didn't do a good job of it as far as inbreeding and line breeding and stuff. Yeah, you got Cottonhams this in the background on one 2 times, way in the back somewhere. And I'm not talking about that Red Man stuff. Not talking about the Red Man stuff, and I'm not hating on Garner with the Red Man stuff. Do what you do, or do what he do, however he do it when it comes to Cottonham Red Man sperm. And when it comes to any brother or sister that's getting a dog or got a dog, and You can't worry about what the next person say. If they say it's off Mayday sperm and you want to believe it, then you go believe it. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. You the one got to take care of the dog. You the one got to feed the dog and all that type of stuff. You know? So, it just is what it is when it comes to them Cottonhams, man. Can't say nothing bad about them brothers' dogs, what they did for the dog game back in the days. It just, you know, I guess it's a sad situation where, you know, some great dogs kind of diminished. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta clarify it. When I say diminish, we gonna all find them in our pedigrees way in the back. But that's the same 1 or 2 dogs. We have yet to see one kennel come out here in 2024 that has a line breed yard coming directly down from all Cottonham dogs. You know, all Cottonham dogs line bred since the 90s. We have yet to see that yet. So I just think it's a situation where the dogs wasn't as plentiful to grab. Great dogs wasn't as plentiful for people to grab like the Mayday dogs and the other more popular dogs. And over a period of time, you know, the popular stuff took over, and a lot of the dogs, bulldoggers, that had dogs, you know, they kind of faded away, especially with social media and these brothers not getting involved with all that stuff. A lot of these dogs faded away. Not to mention, like I said before, getting out of the dog game. Now we're going to talk about a 1-year-old baby that I gave y'all a news clipping on about 2 weeks ago that was attacked, and the little 13-year-old girl was trying to fight him off. You remember I gave y'all that video? Well, I got some sad news for y'all brothers, and we're going to talk about that as an update. I got to speak a lot of things about that particular video, so we're going to speak about that later on, you know. But right now I'm going to talk about how important is having a healthy puppy to your dog's adult life. You know, and you know, I always tell you, I think the first 3 months are some of the most important months when it comes to keeping your dog, having him looking like the dogs that he's supposed to look like. Like, if you don't take care of the dog the first few months, you can almost expect that he won't be his full size. If we talking about these dogs, 55-pound dogs, 60-pound dogs, the yellow dogs, right? Okay. Now, if you get a yellow dog that's supposed to be in this, somewhere in between this weight, but you don't take care of him his first 1, 2, 3 months, you already started off bad. You know, so when you get a dog and he's not full size, you can't really say it's because of breeding. No, it come from because how you take care of the dog. It's all about starting from day one. The first day them puppies come out till the time they leave from you or the time they die on your yard is important, you know. And how many brothers, we listen to all these little things to do with our dogs, all these little remedies, all these things that's supposed to work with our dogs. But how many of y'all brothers take y'all puppies through the biosensor program, biosensor routine, you know, when you drop a litter? And that's to make super puppies, and it's scientifically proven, using by the government. You know, the biosensor routine. I'm not gonna go into all the steps, but you know, you start your puppy from the time it's two days old to like 16 or 14 days. I want to say maybe 12 to 14 days, you know, and you do your little, you turn them one direction, turn them the other direction. It's going to tell you the steps. Look it up. You don't think that work? So folk in the government relying on super dog, turning their dogs to super dogs, and we relying on these folklore tales, you know. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's been scientifically proven to make dogs more interactive with people, you know, not as scary as they normally would be. And I'm not gonna get into the outs and the ends on what each little turn actually does for the dog, but you gotta do the whole routine for a certain amount of days on your puppy. You know, it may help some of y'all brothers who got shy dogs. You know, we ask these questions, how to work with shy dog, how to do this with dogs who shy, dogs who scared to walk on a leash and all that type of stuff. You know, maybe these the type of dogs when you breed them, do these type of things with the puppies and you may help them. A lot of these old schoolers, they can't tell you all this type of stuff because a lot of this information wasn't out for them. It's out for us if we read it. Like I always say, put something in a book if you want to keep it from folk. Read it. You can't get everything in pictures and somebody telling you. You got to read some things. You know, and do your research and how they put it, hands-on, be hands-on with things. Like we always say, trial and error. You know, but starting a dog off as a healthy puppy is the main way to have you a nice and good-looking dog when it's a grown dog. You can't, okay, give you a quick example. All right. Especially when we got these big Mayday and yellow dogs, you're wondering why your dog's coming out 30-pound Mayday dogs and 39-pound Mayday dogs, because they not getting the nutrients. Not saying you're not taking care of them, you know, but there's a whole lot of extra stuff that you gotta do when it comes to these dogs, if you know you want on that level. Now, don't get me wrong, it don't mean, oh, you gotta bring your dogs in the house and none of that type of stuff. But it's about taking what you do serious. You know what I'm saying? Taking what you do serious. You know, my kickback, like I always say, man, I tell you about the thrill of having a dog that was running the game. Okay, that's cool. You know, all right. But my thing is, remember I told you about when you're training a dog and you finally get them to do that command, that feeling that you feel when you finally been working all 2-3 weeks to get him to do something and he finally do it the way he's supposed to do it. That feeling, you know, now that feeling when you put your all into something and then you give these brothers these puppies or these sisters these puppies and they tell you they happy with their product, then that's a good feeling. See, the thing about it, man, this money is so easy to get. When I say easy to get, it's because brothers go by pedigrees. If we stop relying on the pedigrees and ask brothers to let me see something, every situation ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? Every situation ain't the same. But what a brother can't do is think. You can't think a pedigree allows you to slack on these puppies. You know, because these dogs are bred like this, it allows you to move slack on these puppies. See, I don't know who these puppies may go to throughout their lives. But what I got to make sure is a few things. For one, that the puppy going to the right home, a good dog lover. And two, that you get a good puppy. That I did the best that I can do, you know, to make this puppy the sufficient puppy for your family. You know, you don't want to get something, you know, and nobody's perfect. I'm going to say that. Nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect. And one thing about these puppies, they get worms. They can get worms from little anything, seems like. You know what I'm saying? You got to just keep them wormed out and stuff like that, you know. But when you take pride in your stock, when you take pride in your work, you know, then you do what you got to do to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? You do what you got to do to make it happen. It's the same way. Like I always say the street stuff because a lot of brothers really can't comprehend when I talk the legal stuff with the dogs. So I have to kind of put it in the street stuff. So if you don't take pride in your product, you know, okay, yeah, you can whip up all kind of stuff, but when I'm on that strip with that A1, that drop, you're not selling that. Only thing I got to do is drop the price of that drop. You ain't even selling nothing, period. You make it sell the bullshit if you let it go cheaper. And brother don't want to get a $250 dog or $300 dog and $500 or whatever kind of dog, you know, you make it do it then. But while the brothers on the strip with that A1 glass, that you ain't making no moves. Same thing with the dogs, man. More brothers are impressed with healthy, all-together dogs than is with these pedigrees getting the dogs that may not even live past 6 weeks old. You know, I don't feel right in my head. You know what I'm saying? Because this go down too many times in the dog game. You wouldn't believe how many brothers would let you get a puppy without getting shots on it. I don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? How can I give you I can give you a cur, whatever. That's just a whole different ball game. But you're going to have a healthy cur, at least. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say it like that. You know, I wouldn't feel right giving you a puppy with no shots. That's not worm, at least the best of my ability. I feel like I tricked you out your bread. I lived too many days in the streets when I was living a finesse game trying to trick a brother out some bread. I'm doing it the right way this time. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to trick you, and I know how to get it. Give brothers what they want, what they looking for. And at the end of the day, if I did the best that I can do, I'm satisfied. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I can sleep with myself. You know, when you leave, before you even tell me whether you like the dog or not, when you got him and you leave with him, I'm comfortable because I know I did the best I can do. You know? And that's just all there is to it, man. I see it every day. We'll start off with these great bred dogs, and we leave them wormy. We leave them this 2 or 3 months old. They're the size, when they get 4 months old, they're the size of a 2-month-old dog. And then you wonder why they don't be yellow size, why they not Mayday size, or whatever these dogs coming down off of sizes. You know, that's a way a brother can manipulate the size of a dog as well. When you know he's going to be a 60-pound dog, they don't feed him as much, slack back on him, so he will be a smaller bred dog, a smaller frame dog. But the thing about it, he going to still produce big dogs. You know, if you don't want a big dog, get you a small dog. Don't starve your big dog down to be a small dog. And I don't mean starve him down as a grown dog. I mean when he's a puppy like we speaking about. Y'all hit that like button up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The brothers and sisters on Facebook want to know which YouTube channel to come right. At the end of the day, I'm going to tell you that shit. There's a lot of YouTube channels on TV. And I read one sister comment, watch brother so-and-so, the rest of them are drama. Say what you want to say. We giving that real dog talk around here. Y'all, half of y'all mad because I told you about the bootleg dogs, and half of y'all mad because the dogs that you thought was so high on pedestals, we consider them curs. You know, like I said, your heroes ain't my heroes. You know, his heroes ain't my heroes. My heroes ain't his heroes. That's how we roll over here. You know, that's how we roll over here. You want that real dog talk? Subscribe to the Bay, giving it to you every single day. You know what I'm saying? Every single day. That real dog talk. You know, now I got a question I need to ask my brothers and, you know, some of my sisters. You know, when we talk about this dog stuff on these YouTube, man, and getting these chats and all this stuff, some of the stuff that we say and talk about can be detrimental to our everyday real life. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch what you say when you saying certain things. See, that's the difference between American Pitbull Terrier podcast. That's why I tell you, this ain't the podcast. I'm slowly making moves in my mind to do other things, because you got to be careful what you say. You know, you got to be too careful what you say. Now, with a regular podcast talking about urban stuff, talking about music, talking about whatever, you can argue with the chat, you can argue with whoever, they can call you this, they can call you that. You can say what you want to say, because nothing that you saying is going to lead to you doing something illegal. But when it comes to these dogs, you got to be careful. So that's why I ask brothers and I ask sisters, can you go back to any of my videos? Not just one. Go back to all my videos and see why I said a brother from modern day times, dogs don't have mouth. You see, I already off top, I'm going to tell you why I know I didn't say that. There's a few reasons, but I'm going to start with the first one. I was never a mouth man. You never hear me walking around talking about mouth, 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 mouth. I'm a game man. I'm worried about gameness. How to get y'all brothers worry about mouth. I'm worried about gameness. You know. Then we'll worry about all the other stuff. You know. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to figure out, because we got the brother G Test, and I'm trying to pick you out with this, my brother. You know, sometimes it pays to be quiet, and you're not dealing with no uneducated brother here. You know, not dealing with it. You see, you say you're going to unsubscribe to me. You say you're going to stop watching me because I asked you, because you asked me, do my dogs got mouth or are they game today? And I tell you, I don't know. How can I know if I'm not rolling them? What you want me to tell you right now today on this YouTube channel that my dogs got mouth? How can I know my dogs got mouth without rolling them? How can I know my dogs are game without rolling them? That's what you want me to get on national TV and say. Some things that we speak about can be detrimental to our real everyday life. GTS, how old are you, my friend? Are you 14? Are you 15? Are you 19, 21? You know? Or what you trying to do? What was your purpose of asking me that? And what was your purpose of me after I gave you my answer to get mad about it? I didn't cuss you out. I just told you my dogs, you know, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, and you can't make me understand what you're talking about. So that made you mad enough? They'll say you want to unsubscribe to my channel? Because I ain't dumb. I ain't one of them flunkies. I ain't going to get up there and talk that bullshit. You see, y'all boys on Facebook and sisters want to know what channel to come rock with. You better come over and rock with the Bay before you miss something. And at the end of the day, half y'all acting like you ain't watching. I know you're coming here tuning in. You ain't got to be in the chat. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. We're going to keep that thing going. You know, keep it going and keep it going. Big salute and big shout out to my man Pike Water out there. Salute to you, fam. You know, PBK going to do it how I do it, big dog. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Salute to all them dog brothers out there, man. Keeping this thing going, doing it how we got to do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to figure out. I offer this brother $100 if he can come up and tell me one person dog that I say didn't have mouth. I offer him $100 to his cash out right now. That brother try to act like $100 wasn't nothing. He know $100 may not be nothing when you're talking about going to buy a car. $100 may not be nothing when you're talking about taking that girl out for a balling weekend. But you go in there try to get you some dog food and you ain't got 100 dogs. $100 will do something. You know, $100 will do something, big dog, when you ain't had to do nothing to get it but say, yo, you was talking about so-and-so dog that didn't have no mouth. Give me my $100. That's all you had to do to get that 100. Y'all ain't hustlers. That's why I tell y'all boys, you got to be young, big G-Test. You got to be young. Because if an old schooler would have made that statement and he felt like he was standing on that statement, he would have came up there to get that 100. What you losing? You're not losing nothing. You ain't had to put 100. You were just gaining 100. If I was you, I would have came straight up on my channel and tried to get the damn 100. You didn't even try. You went talking about what's 100? What's 100? That's why I tell y'all boys, y'all from different eras. Y'all boys from different eras. But it's all good, man. It's all good. You know, like I said, y'all looking for the right channel to subscribe to, check everybody's channel out. You know what I'm saying? Check everybody's channel out. But at the end of the day, we all want the real. And like I say, I got that Crooks Uncovered. I got that Crooks Uncovered coming. Boy, look here. We're going to rock. Y'all thought I went hard on anybody else. This Crooks Uncovered registration edition, because we're going to do the registration edition. Boy, y'all thought I went hard on some other stuff. I ain't playing no games. You know, I ain't playing no games on this one. Boy, I'm getting it together, and I ain't coming out here with the flim flam. That's why I'm taking my time to doing it. Crooks Uncovered Dog Registry Edition. You know, and it will be here soon. It will be here soon. I ain't bull jiving with you, and I'm going to rock. Honestly, I'm going to tell you the honest truth. We're going to implicate the boycott into this dog game. You know, I talk about that when I bring the Crooks Uncovered Dog Registry edition out. We're going to implicate the boycott in this, and I'm going to give y'all brothers a good reason why. Tired of playing with y'all boys. You think you're up here. And then we have to break you back down and put you on a level playing field. You know, so it is what it is, man. Like I told you, who you might think I'm going to talk about you. And I told the rest of them, got my own dogs, did my own bulldog, and I ain't need your hand, the hole, and none of that type of stuff. The hell with what you think. You know what I'm saying? Get that PBK9 merch. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Holla at your boy. If you're looking to grab something, hit me up on Instagram in my messenger. Hit me up on Facebook in my messenger. Call me directly. Either way it go, it's coming directly from me. I'm not talking about on my website that you might see tagged to my videos. Holla at me directly. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure you're right. I'm going to customize that thing exactly how you want it. Like I said, if you want some going to like it, some going to like it, some ain't shirts. And you want your kennel name at the bottom, in between where it say PBK9s, I'll put your kennel name. Some going to like it, some ain't. You know what? You can get the one with PBK. You know, it just is what it is. However y'all brothers want it, we got it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And boy, wait, I got more stuff besides shirts, winter stuff. You know, winter stuff. Hey, we getting it in, man. Just holler at me, you know. Just holler at me. Now, while that brother trying to find the dog that I said didn't have no mouth in modern day time. Now, I may say something about Sambo them or the dogs from them boys' days, but modern day time, I don't know nothing about that stuff, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Don't know nothing about it. Like one brother said on Facebook, man. Just because you're a game dog, game bred dog, don't mean you game. There's a lot of bloodlines like that out here. You know, there's a lot of bloodlines. We all game dogs, but it don't mean we game. It don't mean you actually, you know, would have caused me a sweat back in the days. And that's why I tell brothers, man, the more y'all got out of that real dog, that Wild Wild West days, the more mouth y'all was looking for. Mouth. The Wild Wild West days, you had to have something to stay there. Ask Tom Garner, with them Garner dogs that he had from back in the 80s, 90s, early 90s. Not ask him about them staying there. Ask the brothers that had the dogs. Why you think they got the 45-minute? How you think a dog get a 45-minute reputation? Because it was built on who gonna stay there. If you ain't staying there, what the purpose of me getting you? Oh, yeah, he put shotgun holes in them, but he won't stay there. If that's the case, brothers wouldn't have been complaining about them 45-minute dogs. They put shotgun holes in them, but they wouldn't stay there. That was the whole point. Boy, Pelican Bay don't hold conversations about mouth. Hold conversations about gameness, baby. You know? Different folk, man. Different strokes for different folk. You know, that's just how it is, fam. That's just how it is, you know. If you too many of y'all brothers relying on you having a game bred dog and thinking your dog is on the caliber of the next brother dog. A lot of y'all dogs will never meet the caliber of some of these other brothers' dogs. You know what I'm saying? Because it just is what it is. No matter how good you make this shit, every now and then you'll get a gem. You get a gem out of it every now and then. And I'm not talking about the yellow dogs or nothing, trying to make them like they better than yours. I'm talking about a lot of bloodlines like that. It's a lot of bloodlines that will never, ever compete on that level. And like I said before, you know, because we going to speak about this, we going to speak about it, we going to speak about it. A lot of y'all did y'all moving because the folk that was in your area was the competition was a little too stiff. So you had to move. But we're going to speak about that in a minute. We're going to speak about that in a minute, my brother and my sisters. I hope y'all having a great day. Like I always say, man, you're rocking with the Bay. Some going to like it, some ain't. It ain't my fault. You know what I'm saying? It ain't my fault, my brother. You know, All I can tell brothers out there, man, is to keep bulldogging, keep doing the right things with these dogs, and when them haters come, shake them off. You know, shake them haters off. I get a lot of criticism because I tell the truth with these dogs. They say a lot of stuff don't supposed to be brought out with these dogs. You damn right. You know, you damn right. All that shit that you telling 50 and 60 people, some of that wasn't supposed to be brought out. But how y'all railroading these brothers out here in this dog game? How y'all done did this, done shit this brother? How you wouldn't sell to this brother but sold to this one? All that stuff got to be brought out. Because folk need to know that kind of people they dealing with. Don't be blinded by the dollar. Now, what I want to do here, man, is I want to send a big tribute and a big shout out and a big, we miss you, we love you, to Miss Mims. You know what I'm saying? Big salute, big shout out to Miss effing Mims, man. We love you. And see, this is why I'm giving this tribute for. You never know what you got till it's gone. To my brothers, you know, that take a lot of things for granted. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you never know what you got till it's gone. Now, Miss Mims, when I say gone, I don't mean she's gone anywhere. I just mean she's not in the bona fide, doing the bona fide no more. You know, and one thing I always said about Miss Mims when I called, and I said this over Patty with the ADBA, one thing I always, you know, Miss Patty them, they was about business with the ADBA. Miss Mims was about business with Bonafide. But Miss Mims just had that good Southern hospitality when you talk to her. You know what I'm saying? She just welcomed you in to her database. You know, she made you feel like you was family. It don't matter if you was Mexican, black, or whatever, and she's white. She made you feel like you was family. And when you're dealing with paper companies or registries like that, it's good for business. You know, and that's something I miss. You know, just over the past few months, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got some stuff coming, my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I got some stuff coming, you know, but I want to send a big shout out, a big tribute to Miss Mims. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get my garden together, trying to do things, trying to put the right things in my body, Miss Mims, and try to let the right things come out to help these brothers in this dog game, to preserve these dogs the right way. You know? The Carolina style, the Carolina way. You know what I'm saying? So I wanna send my, you know, my love all the way from here to Miss Mims. You know what I'm saying? I had to say that. Now when it comes to this dog game, anybody that been following my channel for the longest, you already know this. But the brothers and sisters that just subscribe, you just coming in, I appreciate you. Rocking with me, you know. But I came to shake the dog game up. It's too much phony stuff going on in this dog game. I'm here to shake this thing up, shake the world.
Hold it. You're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Wait. I shook up the world. I shook up the world.
When it come to these dogs, ain't gonna be no more of them lying about these dogs doing this or these dogs coming off of dogs 50 years ago. So we're going to talk about a lot of these sperm breedings that are starting to pop up in 2024 that we know ain't legitimate. We're going to talk about all that in the future, in the future videos coming up over the next couple of days, next few weeks. We're going to be talking about all that. Yes, sir. See, these brothers, like I told you, if you just watching me, don't get it confused, because a lot of them brothers are trying to throw hate on you. They try to throw hate on me and say, oh, he doing this or he doing that. Listen here, man. I'm in the trenches with these brothers out here with these dogs, you know, in the trenches, and I'm looking forward. I ain't looking back. I ain't looking sideways, the slip, the back pedal, the backslide. No, my brother, I'm giving it to you how it is. I see the light. I see where the cross, what you call it, the finish line is at. You know what I'm saying? I can see all that shit. You know, and it ain't where I was at. You know, but because I say that, because I try to help brothers and put that in brothers' head, a lot of these brothers are trying to throw salt on me. Say this, say that, but they won't say none of the stuff they say in my face, and I could care less anyway. You know, I could care less anyway. Own dogs, own stories, own arms. You didn't have to carry me. I got my ass kicked by myself, and I kicked a bunch of ass. You know what I'm saying? Kicked a lot of it. You know? Man, listen here, man. Like I said, this dog channel is built on entertainment, dog knowledge, opinions, but we ain't going off that bullshit. You know, we ain't going for it. I tell y'all brothers all the time, you know, if you want me to straight get to dirty talk, to talk with y'all brothers that do the legal stuff, y'all don't even heal y'all dogs up properly. You know, y'all don't even heal your dogs up properly and go get the stuff that you need to properly heal up them dogs. Penicillin don't work for every single thing the dog get sick for, man. Y'all brothers listen here, man, do your research. You know, y'all young bulldogs don't even keep up with your upkeep enough to be in the Wild Wild West days. But it is what it is, man. I'm about to give y'all brothers and sisters this news coming from Texas. You know, an update on it. We got a few updates, you know, an update on that. I'm going to give y'all that. But first, man, I do want to say this. A lot of brothers may not know this because I'm looking at you typing stuff on Facebook. Schooling is not OTC, but OTC can be schooling. You understand? Don't get it twisted, brother, you know, sister. Schooling is not OTC. OTC is a whole OTC. Schooling is enough to school them, enough to just to put a little bit of that rear end, trying to protect from the rear end. Put a little bit of that, trying to protect from the face. Put a little bit of that, trying to protect from the chest. Put a little bit of that, trying to protect from the bottom area. Put a little bit of that, trying to protect from any area in your dog is what schooling was back in the days. OTCs is a show, is a dog fight that you just don't got regulated. You know, just don't got regulated. So now if I'm using it for modern day terms, and what we doing in this legal stuff, schooling to be getting my dog ready for the treadmill race. Putting them on the harness, letting them run up down the block, up the block with the harness on them. You know, just to get used to the harness. You know, but it's just different, man. It's just different. I don't want to get y'all brothers confused out there who maybe, you know, don't understand certain things as well as other brothers, but it's a difference between schooling and OTCs. You know what I'm saying? Schooling is not meant to be OTCs. Schooling is meant to be schooling. Some brothers go out here. That's why I say schooling is not OTCs, but OTCs can be schooling. You know, if you lucky enough back them days to go out there and want to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 OTCs, full length shows, you know, just against dogs your dog never even had no experience against. If you wanted to do that and you made it through it, then that dog was properly schooled. He was properly schooled, properly all the way schooled out. You know, but when you do it like a little 5-10 minutes back then, you giving them opportunity to learn that style and don't get too hurt. You know, and then you know you had your brothers who say they're 2 or 3 dog them. All it was game tests. All that was game tests. But and this is the thing about 3 and 2 dogging a dog. That's a lot of times, you know, that's hype. When I say hype, I mean, we can all 3 and 2 dog something. But what we 3 and 2 dog them with? You ain't 3-2 dogging him with something serious. You 3-2 dogging him with, something he can come up out of that. But like I said, that was considered a game test in them days, OTC and schooling is different. That's all I'm gonna say, my brother. This understand it. Back in them days, OTC and schooling is two different things. Just as different as OTCs in a regulated show. Now, let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about this. Let's get in, because I'm going to get into this news with the 1-year-old, right? And then we'll get back into this dog talk. Let's talk about this, man. We got that video I gave y'all where the 13-year-old was fighting off the dogs. I bring my baby to your house to be babysitted. This is what happened. I bring my baby to your house to get babysitted. You don't tell me you got to go to work. You go to work and leave your 13-year-old and my baby at the house with the dogs. I didn't know you had to go to work, but you still took my baby to babysit. So you took my baby to babysit, now you go to work and this happened. And when I gave y'all the last video, the baby was in critical condition. But now we got sad news because the baby passed. The baby passed away, man. Handsome little fella. Sad to say it. Sad to say things like that. People will be that negligent with these dogs to the point where, it could take a little fella life like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to send my condolences to the family. It's just sad, man. But what I will say, and this is not important, because when you lose a life, nothing is important. Besides the people that should have been taking care of that dog and making sure that dog wasn't in them situations. The dog is not a pit bull. The dog is advertised as the pit bull on the news article, but the dog is so far from pit bulls. Those are not pit bulls, and that's what we argue about every day. This precious little baby here lost his life about a dog that was not a pit bull. A dog where they take pit bulls and they make all these other breeds, and they don't know the genetics of these dogs. They don't know the temperaments of these dogs, and these dogs have temperaments not from the day when they 1 month, but they do other things when they get older. They snap out and go other ways. You don't know how these dogs act. They haven't been in the system long enough. The American Pitbull Terrier has been a nanny dog for over 100 years. We know we get bad apples in the Pitbull bunch. You know what I'm saying? We get bad apples. But for the most part, those dogs are totally different. And this is another case where the name Pitbull goes up under the death of a young man. The death of a baby. A young fella who didn't have, had a whole life to lead. 13-year-old little girl trying to fight the dogs off. The babies, if you could put yourself there, you can know and we talking 3 dogs, 1 13-year-old little girl, and 1 handheld baby. You already know how it was going down. Just like that dog playing with a baby doll toy. The dog, he wasn't playing though. The dog, I can imagine a girl trying to pull the baby back, get the baby from the dog's tearing the baby away. And it's just sad, man. That girl deserved the time she damn get. Whatever time she get, she deserve it. Common sense tell me not to leave. For one, not to leave no 13-year-old with no baby and go to work. You know what I'm saying? Not when you pay me to babysit. Not to leave no 13-year-old with her. And 2, not to leave no 13-year-old with 3 pit bulls in the house. So-called pit bulls. Bully breed dogs. But right now, the breed ain't important because a young man lost his life. Common sense tell her not to leave the dogs in the house like that. Slam that gavel on her ass, ship her ass up the road and throw away the key. By the time she realizes it, and by the time she get finished doing all that time, she'll realize what she did wrong. She trying to save the dogs from being euthanized. Oh, that's an extra 10 years. You don't have no kind of remorse. Extra 10 years. Get her ass up out of here. You know, get your ass up out of here. I don't care which one of my dogs it is. If they take somebody's life unintentionally like that, we gotta go. We gotta get up out of here. No, man. Things happen, right? If we know these dogs are dangerous, we gotta keep these dogs on lock and key. We gotta practice extra precaution with these dogs, extra safety with these dogs. You know, we can't be out here bullshitting, and then when something happens, the first thing we want to do is scream Pitbull when it's not a Pitbull. You know what I'm saying? First thing, my brother. You know? And like I said, it's a sad situation. We can't, nothing we say and nothing we do, no matter how much time that girl do, it's not going to bring that little baby back. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sad, man. I'm about to give y'all the news article. I'm going to give y'all, you know, the article and the update. You know, hey, it's just a sad game, a sad day, a sad week, a sad month in the bully breed community. I'm going to say it like that. In the bully breed community, that's everybody. The pit bull, the bullies, the pocket pits. It's a sad day, man. You know, when brothers and sisters can't control their dogs and they do stuff like this. PBK9s, fair and uncut, raw and unbiased. Let's get into it.
Overnight, the medical examiner says that one-year-old mauled by a pit bull has died. Investigators say he was mauled by the babysitter's animals. We were there as ACS took the 3 dogs off the property there at Spruce Ridge Drive near Kitty Hawk in Converse. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says Heather Rodriguez left the baby with her 13-year-old daughter when one of the pit bulls forced its way into a bedroom and attacked the baby.
The 13-year-old was able to maintain control of the baby, but at this point, and what's being described to me is it was almost a tug of war for the baby between at least one of the dogs and the little girl.
Now, investigators say other dogs at that home joined into the attack, biting the 13-year-old. She managed to break away and call 911, then came back to protect the baby from the dogs. These pictures from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, some are very graphic here. You see the dogs, where the dogs damaged the door. The sheriff says the 36-year-old had a citation for having unleashed dogs back in May when they wouldn't let a man out of his car. Now she's charged with injury to a child with serious bodily injury by omission. She could face more charges for the injuries to her daughter.
Be strong and be the rock of the family, being supportive of my lady, but I'm not good. It hasn't gotten any easier.
A father grieving for a son whose life ended entirely too soon. Family and friends saying goodbye tonight to this little boy. 1-year-old Jariah Johnson will soon be laid to rest. He was attacked and killed by his babysitter's dogs. The night team's John Paul Barajas at Jariah's visitation today on the east side and spoke to a grieving father.
I want my son to be remembered by his smile, his laugh, the fact that he was loud and he told everybody hi and he could get blue kisses.
It's a dad's last wish for his 1-year-old. Jariah Johnson was attacked and killed by his babysitter's dogs on October 7th.
Why'd you decide not to call anybody and say you had to go to work? Why is it okay for you to want to save these dogs knowing what they did?
We trusted her.
We trusted you.
Julian Johnson wants answers from Heather Rodriguez, a family friend of 3 to 4 years who was supposed to be taking care of Jariah, but instead left the baby at home with her 13-year-old who was left trying to protect Jariah as the dogs attacked.
The sheriff had said that it seemed that Heather was more concerned about the dogs.
You're worried about an animal? Where's the humanity in you worrying about an animal over what that animal did?
Rodriguez is currently facing charges of injury to a child, serious bodily injury by omission for what happened to Jariah, and was later given charges of injury to a child, reckless bodily injury, and endangering a child, imminent danger, causing bodily injury for the injuries her 13-year-old sustained.
Change needs to happen now because people have been dying left and right, getting attacked left and right by dogs.
Today, in a dangerous dog hearing, a judge ruled the 3 dogs involved should be euthanized, something Johnson agrees with. But Rodriguez does have 10 days to appeal that decision.
Anything you say to Jariah right now, you can hear you.
Oh, baby, we love you, Jariah. And we hope you know you were supposed to come home. We'll see you one day. And we'll do our best to be the best we can be.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Now you telling me that girl didn't know better than to leave that baby and that young girl home with them 3 dogs in that house? You telling me that's, accidents happen? Oh, no, the hell they don't. Common sense supposed to kick in at some point in time. Common sense supposed to kick in. Like, what was she thinking? She wasn't thinking, clearly. At some point, she was at work. She was saying, I wonder what the kids, or what was she calling home, checking on them, And at any given time, the dog's ready to snap. And I'm not even saying she was calling home because it definitely ain't saying nothing about that. But you go to work, you don't think, wonder what's going on with 3 pit bulls, a small handheld baby, and a 13-year-old in the house? That's like you pouring gas all over your body and you walking close to a fire. Not dead up on the fire, but you walking close to a fire. You already know what's going to happen. Or you already know what there's a chance of. Why would you do it? And that's why same thing I say with a lot of these brothers with dogs. Put your dog in a position to succeed, man. A lot of brothers put their dogs in positions to fail from rip. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's getting their titles, whether it's whatever they're doing, training or however they're doing it, you putting your dogs in positions to fail. You ain't taking care of them. You trying to, because you got them in the keep, you thinking that's going to get them to be this super game dog, super game dog, when you put them in a position to fail from day one because you never took care of them the way you were supposed to take care of them from the rip. You put your dogs in positions to fail. And positions to F up. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, that's a sad situation. Condolences to that family. Nobody, if you haven't been through it, none of us can say we know how you feel if you haven't been through it. So condolences to that family. Now let's get into this talk right here, man. Let's get into this talk right here. Because we were talking about this on Facebook, this morning to my brothers. When it come to West Coast, some brothers had a problem with me saying that. I'm going to say it right now live while you're looking at me. When it come to the West Coast, them brothers known for gang banging. Certified gang bangers. That's why when it come to gang banging talk with the East Coast, them boys don't respect your word. They don't respect what y'all talking about on the East Coast with that gang banging stuff. Them boys look at y'all like y'all fakes compared to their West Coast stuff. Because they do that over there. Gang banging. Legal weed, West Coast. And like I said, Hollywood, West Coast. Bulldoggers, no. No. You get mad, I don't give a damn. The West Coast is not known for bulldogging. See, that's why they gonna tell you to go to Garcia channel, my brother or my sister, because they want that fairy tale talk. So they want a fairy tale talk. Y'all want to read in the sport dog journals and have y'all heroes for the next 40 years. And we done gave y'all 40 years already. We tired. We need more folk to talk about in these dogs. Y'all ain't did enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, West Coast known for gang banging. And West Coast known for Hollywood. West Coast known for legal weed. West Coast ain't known for no bulldogging. You know what I'm saying? West Coast ain't known for no bulldogging. I'm not saying he ain't had no bulldoggers over there. I'm not saying that now. Far from saying that. But I did say this on Facebook. Where all the West Coast champions at in our pedigrees? Where all the West Coast champions in our pedigrees at? A lot of y'all, like I said before, a lot of y'all on this East Coast, you had to go to certain places, especially down here in them Carolinas. You had to go here and there because you wasn't winning around them yellow dogs once Tank came. It's plain out simple. You had to go to Tennessee and Arkansas and all these other places to find dogs on your caliber. Because over here in them Carolinas, them boys had different kind of dogs. And once they came, they came. And like I said, no disrespect to my West Coast Bulldoggers, but we just got to keep it real. If you can say, we all know the gang banging originated in the West, and it's the real shit going on in the West. I don't know what's going on over here on the East and everywhere else. And do we all agree that them brothers on the West Coast don't look at y'all gang bangers the same way as they look at their fellow gang bangers from the West? You say they do, is a damn lie. You know what? Until y'all start connecting up and linking up and all that stuff like that. You know? So, I mean, hey, all I said was, like I said before, that competition was in the South. Why I need to go run into the West with my dog? Because you can't take these dogs in the South? Competition was everywhere. And like I said on Facebook, when the Oklahoma kid, Mr. Earl Tudor, went to selling his dogs and doing all other kind of stuff, he came to the east side. He didn't go to the west side. When that man was testing his dogs and doing all kind of stuff, he came to the east side in the South. Not California. You know? Now, look at this, right? I just told y'all the other day. We know we got bulldoggers in Idaho, Nebraska, not Nebraska, that's a little closer this way. Colorado, all them places kind of off in the west, like not Midwest, but Colorado, North Dakota. We know we got bulldoggers over there. That bulldog before. But why we ain't got all them missing states like that down south? Why we ain't got a missing state down south that's not known for bulldogging? Every damn state down south known for bulldogging. Every state in that whole demographic. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Tennessee, all known for bulldogging. So when you come talking that other talk to me, you know, talking to somebody that's gonna believe that shit. Because I was out here and I know, you know, you didn't have to go nowhere. A lot of y'all boys didn't want to stay into that stiff competition, so you went to these other brothers who was a little bit lower level. But hey, like I said, it ain't gonna go easy with some of y'all. Some of y'all, like I said, y'all stuck in y'all ways. You stuck in your ways, and you know how to duck and dodge. A real bulldogger back in them days, he took on anything that his size could that was in his size range. He didn't just take on Eli dogs. He ain't just take on yellow dogs. He ain't just take on a certain brand of dogs. He took on any kind of dog. He didn't dodge yellow dogs. He didn't dodge Eli dogs or dodge Jeep dogs. He took on any dogs. And when we hear these stories, some of your famous dog men even did some dodging. Because if you was in the same era with these dogs and you was in the same city, same state with these famous dogs in the pedigree, there's no reason besides weight that your dogs shouldn't have met each other. If you're in the same era, you know, if you thought your dog was good, obviously you felt like his dog was better. Or it was something that was lacking in your dog that these dogs will pull out, that the dogs over there won't. And like I said, big shout out to the West Coast Bulldoggers, but it ain't over there. You know, it ain't start over there. It wasn't the capital. That wasn't the capital. the California, Las Vegas, Arizona, Washington State, North, them not the capital. It was more bulldoggers in one state down south than the whole West Coast. What are you talking about, my brothers? You had more famous bulldoggers in South Carolina than you had in the whole West Coast. Put together, state to state. North Dakota, South Dakota, Washington State, California, Arizona, Las Vegas, Nevada rather, Colorado, Omaha, Wyoming. Man, we got to get it together, brother. And if you want to be real about it, let's just be real about it. The South, we known for game dogs. California known for pocket pits, bullies, and XLs and exotics. You know, that's what the West Coast known for when it come to dogs. Exotic pit bulls with the little arms about this long. The pocket pit bulls with the arms a little bit longer. Bullies and stuff like that. XL bullies and stuff like that. California, the West Coast, Nevada, all them places known for them kind of dogs. They ain't known for them sheep herders. You know, they ain't known for them working dogs. Not saying they wasn't bulldogging, but they was coming over here getting the damn dogs. Or getting the dogs that was made over here. Whether it was from New York City on down to damn Florida. You know, from New York to New Jersey, to Washington, to Virginia. The famous dogs, my brother. Washington State, California, Nevada. Who else? Wyoming, Idaho. Damn, man, we can't find one bulldogger. So you telling me, okay, if we talking, right? And you telling me back in the days, me and you talking back in the days, and you telling me, okay, man, I went way to Idaho and made my dog a grand champion, right? So now I'm thinking in my head, why the hell you travel over there? Now I'm thinking in my head, who I know that bulldog over there? Who I know bulldoggers over there? You know? Now I'm thinking like, oh, you going in one of them towns that they got nothing but blue dogs in. You going to see, you got towns across this country that you could take the sorriest game bred dog it is and run that town. You know, you got some towns like that. And that's what a lot of y'all brothers was looking for. To find that town where your mediocre dog can seem supreme. When you got a whole bunch of supreme dog brothers over here that match your weight that you running from. So you're damn right I said it. You know what I'm saying? If you had to put that gas in and go on the West Coast, you had plenty of bulldoggers right here in the South that you could have went on. You know, that just showed what you thought about the dog that you was using. But like I said, man, you know, it's your boy PBK9's giving it to you the way I always do. Fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Y'all hit that like button before y'all get up out of here. Giving it to you the way I always do, man. Some gonna like it, some ain't. Hit me up if you're trying to get that merch. We coming in all colors, you know, and I'm working on the website now, you know. So holla at your boy. We out.
Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm first green ballin', trying to get my bread long. You know the game gone and my mind been blown. Different decision that I done made got me fucked up now. Still gon' thug the life I'm living, still gon' hold this shit down. Every day of my life, yeah, nigga chasing cheese. And I'm saying niggas should be around there, we'll see y'all your feet. My mama been doing bad, but